Hi, welcome to lesson 2. Today we're going to teach you how to dig a shovel test. Step 1. Dig your shovel test down to the subsoil. Step 2. Screen the dirt and look for any artifacts. Step 3. Document the stratigraphy of your hole and any artifacts if you've found some. Step 4. Backfill. Now we will go over some useful tips and tricks to help you dig a shovel test. Shovel tests are laid out on a 15-meter grid. Every shovel test you excavate will be given a certain number. This number can be found on the pink flagging tape that marks where the test should be dug. We excavate shovel tests in a certain order, or a line going from east to west or north to south. These lines are also called transects. Begin digging your shovel test by the flagging tape that has been laid out. If your shovel test happens to be by a large tree, you can offset it about a meter or so in a different direction. When digging a shovel test, you want to try and keep the walls of the hole as straight down as possible. This will allow you to see the stratigraphy of the hole much better. You dig a shovel test down to the subsoil. The subsoil is usually lighter or redder than the soil above it. The subsoil also may contain a higher clay content. Inspect the stratigraphy of your shovel test closely. Sometimes you may see soils that vary from the norm in the region you're in. In some cases, this can be a giveaway to prehistoric or historic occupations. Screening the dirt that you dig up is pretty self-explanatory. However, the most common mistake done when screening is filling up your screen with too much dirt. Instead, try only filling your screen halfway. Not only will this make the screen easier to pick up, but it will also make it easier to see any artifacts within the dirt. Once you find an artifact, fill out the paperwork accordingly. You will also have to fill out the provenience information of the artifact on its plastic bag. This information goes from biggest to smallest, beginning with the project number and area, if any, the shovel test number, the depth of recovery, the date, your initials, and what's in the bag. Regardless of whether you found an artifact in your shovel test or not, you will have to fill out some paperwork. This includes the shovel test number, the number of strats, the depth of each strat, and the Munsell color and texture. To get your Munsell soil color, match a soil sample from each stratigraphic level to a color swatch in the book. Soils around here are usually in the 10 YRs. To complete your soil profile information, you will then have to get the soil texture. A helpful hint to determine soil texture is that the more it ribbons, the more clay content is in the soil. You can determine how much your soil ribbons by pinching it between your thumb and index finger and rolling slightly. Loam is also an important part in determining the soil texture, because very rarely will you encounter a pure sand, silt, or clay. So then you can write down the soil description as clay loam, silt loam, or sandy loam. And soil textures are not only limited to that. You should be given a soil texture triangle that helps you determine what the soil texture is. This can include percents clay, loam, etc. So now, once you've finished digging your shovel test, screening the dirt, recording the soil profile information and any artifacts you've encountered, you're ready to backfill your hole. Once you backfill your hole, you can move on to the next shovel test. This will usually be in a direct north, south, east, or west direction. We usually stop in the field for lunch at noon. Lunch break lasts 30 minutes. You may want to consider bringing something light to eat, such as energy bars or fruit, instead of something heavy like pasta. Remember, it's very important to bring enough water to get you through the day. It is also very important to dress for where you will work. Lots of times we work in the forest, and you will encounter things such as poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, and thorns. You want to make sure that your clothing is thick enough to where the thorns won't make you uncomfortable. The lab will provide you bug spray and sunscreen to help protect you from these outdoor elements. However, it is up to you to make sure you bring your own rain gear. As usual, when working in the outdoors, make sure you keep a lookout for the signs of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, hypothermia, or any other risks while working in the outdoor environment. And while participating in archaeological fieldwork is hard work, it's important to have fun too.